contest. First of all, introducing the fighter on my right, fighting out of the red corner and wearing the red and white shorts. He has a professional MMA record of 13 wins, with just 5 losses and 2 draws. Fighting out of Dinky Ninjas, Glasgow, John Cullen! And introducing his opponents, across the cage on my left, fighting out of the blue corner and wearing the blue shorts. He has a professional MMA record of 8 wins, just 2 losses and no draws. From Lancaster and Morecambe MMA, Shay Walsh!
High-level featherweight action is upon us here at OMMAC 16. John Cullen from Dinky Ninjas, in the white and red Venom shorts, taking on Lancaster Morecambe MMA, Shay Walsh in the blue shorts. I'm Dave Leatherby, alongside me, Jay Furness. And Shay Walsh riding high after a fantastic win over Sol Rogers, but he shipped an early knee there from Cullen.
Very slick work there from John Cullen early, as Walsh looked to close the gap. The big knee came in just at the right time. Shay's shaking it off though, and he's pressed Cullen against the fence, and this is where he wants to be.
I was saying there before Cullen rudely interrupted me with a beautiful knee, Jay. Shay himself coming off the biggest win of his career, surely, against Sol Rogers. Hugely impressive there. Looks to go strength to strength, but he's certainly got a tough test in front of him in John Cullen.
Cullen's a guy that's been around for a lot of years, and he's fought a lot of the best guys in Europe. He's never a guy you can write off. Vicious striker, and he spoke to OMMAC before the fight, and he said people see me as just a striker, but they forget I've got just as many submissions as TKOs on my record. So, you know, he's got the mixed bag. Says he's been working really hard and he's wrestling for this fight, and yeah, he's looking to negate what Walsh wants to do.
Yeah, interesting you should say that, because obviously from those looking outside, wrestling is the huge threat with Shay Walsh. Crushing top game, and you know, he met Sol Rogers in the middle of the cage and his wrestling came out on top in that bout, which says everything about him. He has been stopped with strikes. We were there, Jay. What a turn up for the books it was when Artem Lobov dropped him. So, very interesting bout, and you know, Cullen's dangerous at all times, like you say. So Shay, excuse me, is going to be looking to just keep the distance and just keep that top game of his going.
Yeah, if he can wear Cullen down from this position, really make him work hard to stay on his feet, then and take him into a lot of rounds, you've got to think that's where he's going to try and dominate. Walsh, good submissions, as you say, very good on top, good ground and pound. You know, this guy's got skills. He's up and coming, and Cullen would be the biggest name on his resume. So he's got everything to gain from this fight, and he's got a big support here in Liverpool, like he always brings to the Olympia.
This is what John Cullen would have been worried about. Shay Walsh securing the takedown. Let's see what Cullen's got off his back now.
Yeah, he's a dangerous guy off his back, is Cullen. He's rangy, he's got long limbs, likes to throw them triangles. You know, so Walsh definitely can't rest from this position.
Yeah, there's no shortage of excellent training partners for him at Dinky Ninjas. One of the UK's premier teams, producing especially the lightweight guys, likes of Paul McVeigh, James Doolan. Plenty of talent up there across the border.
Yeah, and Cullen's had enough fights that he's been in this position before. You know, he can be quite calm from this position, but he doesn't want Shay to advance. You know, once he starts passing that guard, it's a very dangerous prospect, and you know, he's just peppering with punches here, but once he gets the opportunity, you know, he'll land some big shots, and that's not what Cullen wants. Shay keeps that hook in as he tries to come out to the back. He's got the hook trapped in on the leg, stays on top. Cullen managing to sort of get back to the guard, looks to sweep that butterfly hook, and gets back to his feet.
Beautiful work from John Cullen, very aggressive now.
Well, he's got to make the most of this time on the feet. He doesn't know how long he's going to be there. So he went in with that head kick and some good punches. Shay looked phased a little bit. Cullen spinning back fist, and Shay drops his level, evades it and gets on top. That's the danger when you commit to a strike like that. It's all in or all out. And yeah, he went all in, but Shay managed to get the takedown off the back of it.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me a lot, the way this fight is set up stylistically, of the Artem Lobov Shay Walsh bout. Lobov spent almost the whole of the fight on his back, but every time he popped to his feet, Jay, he was throwing wild strikes, flying strikes, and you know, we were questioning it, but in the end he landed an orthodox uppercut and ended the fight. It's a very thin line for John Cullen here when he does get back to his feet.
Yeah, Shay's done a good job there. He's almost passing that knee through to get to side control. Cullen again looks for a sweep, but Shay stays on top. And he's going to end out the first round on top and with a good round in the bag. Again, Cullen had his moments. He landed a big knee early on, and then that head kick, you know, a couple of good sweeps. But Shay pinned him on the fence, ground him down, and managed to work from the top. So, you know, some good work, some good flashes from both guys there. Probably more dominant for Walsh. He's coming in with the game plan we expected. How much longer he can keep it going. You know, there's still a potential 10 minutes left of this fight. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess it's testament to how strong that area of his game is, Shay Walsh, the top game, because as you say, Jay, we expect it here in the commentary position. I'm sure his opponents watching the videos expect it, but it's almost a case of, you know, you've got to go out and try and stop me. He's put it on John Cullen. Cullen was expecting this, and what's he going to do to combat it?
I mean, the one thing you get with John Cullen is, you know, he's full-blooded and he goes for it. He's not going to pull his strikes because he thinks Shay's going to take him down. As we saw then, he's going to go into the strikes full-blooded and he's going to try and take your head off. What that means is that your opponent can take advantage of your enthusiasm with his strikes and take you down. But, you know, that's the kind of guy Cullen is, and he'll always fight like that, and that's why the fans love to watch him fight.
He certainly doesn't look outstrengthed in the clinch, Cullen. Pops back to his feet after the block. Take it, beautiful knee there from Cullen. Yeah, I'm sure nice. Some of that landed, Jay.
Yep, Shay just kept coming forward though. It looked as if the thigh sort of landed on the chin. But Walsh kept marching forward and he pinned Cullen on the fence. And doesn't look affected by it. It's not the first big shot that Walsh has taken in this fight. Showing a good chin. And he just keeps coming forward, regardless of what Cullen's throwing at him.
Well, you have to admire the determination of Shay Walsh.
Yeah, landed on the nose there. You can see Walsh's nose bleeding, so that knee obviously landed.
Which makes it even more impressive, Jay, that he just walked through, trying to secure that double, just walked through the knee, eventually gets the takedown.
Yeah, gets that single leg, but Cullen's looking to reverse it with that Kimura grip. And that position that we saw Wooten get earlier in the night. Lands a couple of elbows.
Could take the back here, Cullen.
I don't think he's going to be able to get that bottom hook in, but he can certainly come out on top. But it's Walsh who takes the initiative and comes on top and into John Cullen's guard. Quite a lot of blood coming out from there now. That's the nose of Shay Walsh.
Yeah, as you say, Jay, a lot of blood on the face of Shay Walsh now.
Yep, but it's not stopping him, and Walsh is driving forward and he's keeping on top of Cullen, giving him very little space. Yeah, I think there might be some blood dripping from the head as well. Yeah. From this position we can see it, they're straight in front of us, and yeah, I think there is blood dripping from the head of Walsh as well, so, you know, a precarious position.
As you know, Jay, as well, these cuts on the top of the head, they can bleed a lot, but not be too severe. There's so much blood running through those areas where the skin's so thin around the skull. So it's hard to tell, from this view anyway, how bad the cut is.
It's not so bad that it's affecting his vision, and Walsh seems content to still stay in this fight, and he's still working, so You know, he's still got everything to fight for. A little bit of blood's not going to stop him. Cullen looking for a guillotine. Very unorthodox, and he switches that leg over. He's got a guillotine and a triangle on. Walsh is out of the guillotine choke, but Cullen's still threatening with that one arm in, one arm out triangle position. Good posture though from Walsh.
And you alluded to it earlier, Jay, in a previous bout of a lot of blood. It's not going to make John Cullen's life any easier going for those submissions on the bottom.
No, and Walsh survives that threat. And now he's working that dominant position again. He works that right hook in. And Cullen sensibly keeping his hands on the floor so he can't get kneed. He'll look to explode when he gets the chance. And now he's up to his feet. But relentless pressure there from Shay Walsh, keeping John Cullen pressed on the fence. Good low hips, and he's driving, and he should be able to secure another takedown from this position. As I say that, Cullen's done a good job, turns his back off the fence, using that underhook. Looks like he might suck in the hips and get a takedown of his own.
Yeah, at times, Jay, I'm definitely impressed with Cullen in the stand-up clinch. He doesn't look overpowered there. It's when he's on his back he's struggling. Secures his own takedown, and looking at the back now of Shay Walsh, elects to let him stand up. Let's see what Cullen, a beautiful knee to the body and a right hand round the corner.
Yeah, that was a good knee, but Walsh still moves forward. He's eating some big shots, but he keeps coming forward. He's just relentless with these takedowns. Again, it's the case of Cullen committing to his strikes, and when he's that committed, it's hard to stuff a takedown. Always looks dangerous from every position is John Cullen, but Walsh is doing a brilliant job of neutralising that threat, staying on top, scoring the points, and keeping some dominant positions.
Yeah, as another round comes to a close, it's the same old story for John Cullen at the moment. It's just going to be a case, Jay, I think, of probably more of the same in the third round, but is he able to land another shot like that knee that caused the blood on Shay Walsh that could end things here? For me, Cullen's definitely got it in his locker, Jay.
Yeah, it's flashes of brilliance. But overall, as we've seen in quite a few fights tonight, you know, the odd really good shot here and there is not enough to win you a fight if your opponent is taking you down and working from that top position. So Cullen has it in his locker, as you say. We know he's got it. We know he's got the strikes to do it. Can he stay on his feet at range long enough to deliver it? Only the third round will tell.
Will be interesting what the corner of John Cullen is explaining to him now. I wonder if they're telling him just to pull some of the flashy strikes, maybe throw a few less head kicks, and cut out the spinning strikes, or, you know.
I don't think you can tell a guy like John Cullen that.
That's what I was just going to say, Joe. It alludes back to the time of Art and Lombok. We were saying the same thing, but you take those strikes away from a guy, you know, it's almost like taking the fire away.
Yeah, and Walsh moves in behind some punches and secures himself another takedown to start round 3. This is exactly where he wanted to be.
Shay Walsh's corner calling for the heavy hips. For him to close that distance. Goes to the body. To be fair to Cullen, Jay, he's working now. Trying to work that high guard. Pulling rubber guard almost there.
Yeah, very flexible, John Cullen. As we said before, he's got long limbs, which makes him dangerous from inside the guard, which is why it's ever more important for Walsh to pass, as he's attempting to do now. Cullen doing a good job of not taking much damage, gets back to his guard, tries to work back to his feet, but Walsh is in on that single leg again.
Beautiful spring to his feet from John Cullen there. Many less opponents he would have been able to get away, but Shay Walsh, relentless in pursuing him, gets back on that top position. Just sat in the half guard now of Cullen. Shay Walsh's corner, pulling from to sit down on that leg, close the gap. Cullen perhaps trying to use the cage to stand up here. He's still working, Jay. He's certainly not giving up this fight.
Yeah, but Walsh is on him non-stop, not giving him any space. You know, constantly closing that distance. You know, if he gives Cullen room to move and get out of there, you know, that's when it's dangerous. So he's doing the exact right thing, just keeping his hips in, keeping his body pressure on, and just not letting him create any space. Another big takedown there lands for Walsh. Things are looking increasingly desperate for John Cullen.
Yeah, certainly. More scores into the book for Shay Walsh. Another takedown. Cullen must be aware that he needs a finish to get anything out of this fight. But from this position, it's very rare do you see Shay Walsh in trouble sub-wise, Jay, from the top game, because he's just so used to being there.
Yeah, he's very savvy. Cullen looks for an up kick, almost lands one, but again, Walsh does a good job and he comes through with a nice right hand. Looking to take the back. Cullen's doing a good job of putting his back against the fence, which stops Shay Walsh from coming around and getting full control of his back. Again, Walsh hooking that leg, limiting John Cullen's movement on the ground. And again, he's on him, just constant, relentless pressure, no space. And that's exactly what he needs to be doing.
Yeah, an impressive grappling masterclass here from Shay Walsh. We said we were impressed with how he took apart Sol Rogers in that fight. Sol almost seemed to tire very rapidly in that fight. Cullen, on the other hand, Jay, he looks fresh, he's still able to work, but he still can't do anything about it.
Oh, nice right hand lands there in the transition from Shay Walsh. He's got one hook in, looking to take the back. Cullen doing the right thing and defending that choking arm.
Keep working, you can finish this.
Maybe looking to set up an arm triangle again from this position is Walsh. He comes on top.
Into the mount position, Shay Walsh here.
Cullen bucks, but Walsh again, he does a good job of staying on top and keeping them hooks in.
Can really tell, Jay, how savvy John Cullen is at avoiding any real damage, but it just goes to show how even more impressive the performance is from Shay Walsh against such a seasoned campaigner.
Yep, and Shay Walsh is doing what Shay Walsh does, and that's constant pressure. Oh, Cullen trying to come back into it towards the end of this third round, a couple of elbows, but again the space is negated. Walsh drives him up to the fence and just carries on with the game plan. He sticks to it, that's discipline, and he's not letting a few elbows let him detract from that path. Just 10 seconds left, and you've got to think that this is in the bag for Shay Walsh right now, as he puts an exclamation mark on it with one more takedown to win that third round.
Fantastic performance from Shay Walsh, who is surely on his way to a unanimous decision victory here against John Cullen, who, you know, Jay, he turned up, as he always does, to fight John Cullen. He's not afraid of getting in the mixer with anybody. Excellent strikes, and as he said to you before, an excellent ground game, but he just wasn't able to negate the crushing top game of Shay Walsh. And how many times have we said that before?
Yep, disciplined performance from Walsh. Did exactly what he needed to do. There's no doubt that was the game plan, and he's taken it off to a T. Excellent victory should be coming up here for Lancaster and Morecambe MMA's Shay Walsh.
And after 3 incredibly hard-fought 5-minute rounds, the judges have collated their scores and have reached a unanimous decision in favour of your winner. In the blue corner, Shay Walsh. So please, a huge show of appreciation to a fantastic opponent, John Cullen.